Hello, hello. It's Joanne Muse of the Tax Lien Lady. This is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where I get to answer your questions live here on my Facebook page. I'm actually doing this in StreamYard and it gets streamed right onto my Facebook page. So say hello and let me know where you're coming in from, and I will answer your questions. And Nicole, when you get here, you could tell me what questions we got ahead of time. I think we had a question from the last Facebook Live I did inside the group. And I just got back from a tax sale a little while ago, my second tax sale this week. Yeah, it's Tuesday, and I went to a tax sale yesterday, tax sale today. And today I got one big lien at 18%. Yesterday I got three, one small, really small lien and two like medium-sized liens. And when I say medium-sized, I mean, $4,000 or $5,000 is a medium-sized lien. The small one was under $200. We normally don't go after stuff like that, but I got them because I was able to get them at 18%. The one that I got today, again at 18%, was a much larger lien, $13,000 lien. So, these were for the fund that I invest for, but so it is still possible to go to the sale and get good liens at great rates, but you have to know what you're doing. I'm going to out of the way places. There's still competition. There's still a lot of bidders. When I say a lot of bidders, there was five or six bidders, including myself. Okay. One individual investor, but all institutional buyers, some small funds or medium-sized funds and big funds with big pockets. Not any really big funds there today, I think. I don't really know because I don't know how deep their pockets are. But there was at least one with really deep pockets that if I bid against, I wouldn't be able to outbid them. Okay, they would just go deeper than I could because they don't care if they're not making that much money. That because some of these funds, their goal is to get the property, and they figure that if they invest in enough tax liens, if they have hundreds of liens, they'll get a few properties. Okay. But that strategy is changing because it's getting harder to foreclose on properties in New Jersey after the Supreme Court ruling in Tyler versus Hennepin. Okay, because some states were affected by that. Not all states were, but in New Jersey, tax lien foreclosures were affected by that. Now it's a lot tougher in some counties to foreclose on a tax lien. But our fund's purpose in investing in tax liens is for the return on the money, not to get the property. So although in the past, we usually sell most of our New Jersey liens before they foreclose, but we did foreclose on some Florida liens. Now, Florida is not affected by that Tyler versus Hennepin Supreme Court ruling because in Florida, you don't actually get to foreclose on the property. You apply for it to go into a deed sale, and that satisfies your lien when the property is sold in the deed sale. So that being said, I want to give you a little bit of background of today's tax sale. I'm counting the properties that were left. There were 43 properties on the original list in that sale. Okay, and at the time of the sale, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 properties left. So out of 43 properties that were on the original list, there were only 10 properties left today when I went to the sale. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bidders and myself. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 bidders and myself. So 5 bidders bidding on 10 properties. I got one at 18%. And the reason I got it at 18% is the other investors didn't really want it. It was commercial vacant land. Commercial land, not vacant land really. It was unoccupied commercial land. So there were buildings on the property, but it was unoccupied commercial land right on the side of a highway. So, there was good value to the property, hence it had a lot of taxes, right? So it's still a really good lien. It's just that a lot of these other bidders are interested in residential properties. They're not interested in they're interested in some vacant land, but not all vacant land. Now, this wasn't vacant land. It was just unoccupied, but there were buildings on the property. And it probably was at one time part of a farm that is no longer in use. And I'm not sure what the buildings were. They might have been residential buildings, but it was zoned commercial, okay? And it was 5 acres, so a great property that I was able to get for the fund at 18%. Now, yesterday, I got 3 liens at 18%, and they were all on farms, because that's another thing that the institutional buyers don't really go after is the farms. Because there's not a lot, they get a farmstead exemption, so they don't have a lot of taxes. So there's not a lot of subsequent taxes that you could pay and make money on. However, 2 of the farms that I got 18% on were substantial amounts, like between $3,000 and $5,000, because it wasn't just the farm, it was the house and the area around the house. So when you have a small farm or even a big farm, what happens is that part of the land is zoned for farming, and that's the part that you get a really big discount on for taxes. But the house that you live in and a certain area around the house is taxed at the normal rate. So these properties were both the house and the farm, all right? And because they don't go after farmland, they were not interested. Okay, so I was able to get 18%. So just a little tip for you guys, when you go to these sales, look for things like that. Go to out of the way places, look for vacant land, look for farms. Now, when I say look for vacant land, it's still got to be good land. You can also look for commercial land, but you got to make sure that it doesn't have any environmental problems. Okay, all right, just some tips for you today while I'm waiting for you guys to come on and ask me your questions. Now, and I do have a couple of announcements for you. And Nicole, if you could get me any questions, if you're with me here today. I can't see who's there on Facebook because I am doing this in StreamYard. And Nicole usually goes into Facebook and looks at what's going on there. But I do have a couple of announcements for you today. If you missed our last, okay, Nicole, there was a question from a Facebook Live that we did maybe in the group, the last Facebook Live that we did in the group, or maybe it was, I know I did see a question somewhere on Facebook. So have a look and see what you can find there. It might be in the group. Thank you. Okay, and so our newsletter went out today, and one of the things that I let everybody know about in the newsletter is when our next free live workshop is going to be. We have a 90-minute workshop coming up next Wednesday, not next Wednesday, I'm sorry, next Thursday, not this week, not this Thursday, but Thursday, December 21st. And it's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you missed the last 90-minute workshop we did back in October, And that was to get ready for the fall tax sales, which are finishing up now. Now is the biggest month for New Jersey tax sales, and they are winding down. There are only about 106 tax sales left this month in New Jersey. There were almost 200 earlier this month scheduled. But and I still have 2 more tax sales to go to live this week. Last week, I went to a couple tax sales live, and we did a few online tax sales as well. So you'll find both online and live tax sales still going on in New Jersey. But our next workshop is going to talk about the winter tax sales, what winter tax sales are coming up, and how you can get in on the winter tax sales. So join us. If you missed our last workshop, you're really going to want to be on this one. It is Thursday, December 21st at 7 p.m. So save that date, save that time, and we'll see you then. There will be a replay if you register, but you got to register to get the replay, and the replay will be available for a short time. And we also have coming up in January our 4th annual Wealth Building Conference, which is also free to attend live. Actually, it's not live, it's all pre-recorded, but it's free. When we see, here's what we do. I interview experts, and because I interview a lot of experts for this conference, we do it pre-recorded, and then I give out the recordings, a couple of recordings each day during the conference. This year, we're going to do it for 1 week. And each day you have 24 hours to review those interviews. And our speakers give away a lot of valuable free gifts as well. Then at the end, we do not make the recordings available. We will let you review them for 48 hours, maybe over the weekend or a couple of days in case you missed any. But after that, the only people that will get access to all the speaker interviews, lifetime access to the speaker interviews and their free gifts, are those who buy the VIP tickets. And we also give other bonuses to our VIPs for the Wealth Building Conference. So we don't have the information for you yet for that, but what we do have is the sign up form for the workshop, a 90-minute workshop that we're doing next Thursday. So thank you, Nicole, for Mark's question. And you could put the link in the Facebook comments for the 90-minute workshop. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support, Nicole. Okay, and I have a question for everybody, and for those of you that are on live or watching the replay, we are also going to have an end of year sale or a holiday sale. We'll probably be doing it early, so instead of end of year, it might be during the holidays. Now, last year, what we did is we made one of our workshops available at half price and another one for free. So I would like to find out, what is it that you want this year? What would you like some big savings on? Okay. For the last couple of years, what we've done is give you one of our workshops at half price and another one for free. But what would you be interested in? Last year, I think we did the Redeemable Deeds workshop at half price, and then our Texas workshop went along with it for free. So what is it that you want us to discount and give away at either for the holidays or at the end of the year? Let us know. You could just put a comment when you watch the replay, put a comment on this replay and let us know in the Facebook group. All right, so we did get a question here. From Mark, and he said, if you want to acquire land by tax sale, online or live sale, what's the key way to find them for Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida states? Okay, so There's different states in there that do different things. So for Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, those 3 states are redeemable deed states. So it's not that easy to get the land. When you go to the sale, you don't actually acquire the property. You have to hold on to it. For Georgia, it's a 1-year redemption period. Tennessee, 1-year redemption period, and South Carolina, 1-year redemption period. So you have to wait a year. And you're not going to get the land in most cases it is going to redeem. Not as much as liens redeem, because liens will redeem 99% of the time across the country. With redeemable deeds, it's a little bit less. I'm not sure exactly what it is in those states. Each state might have, a different rate of redemption, and each county might be different. So you can check with the county when you go to the sale what that is. But the best way to find them, what my clients and I use, excuse me a minute, getting really dry with all the talking that I'm doing, so I have to take a sip of water. Okay, so what my clients and I use to find out, first of all, about what states have tax sales coming up across the country is we use something called tax sale finders. Now, it's not available to the general public. It's only available to my clients. But what is available to the public is something called tax sale resources. Okay, and so you could use them to find out what tax sales are coming up nationwide. Now, it is a paid service. Okay. Now, for what you would do is you could also filter what you're looking for. So you could filter for those particular states, or you could filter for redeemable deed states if you're looking for and find out about Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina. All right. Now, they also happen, Georgia, they're going to happen every month, the first Tuesday of the month. And then if you're using tax sale finders, I don't know if you could do this with tax sale resources, but if you're using tax sale finders, you can filter the properties in the list so that I don't even buy a list. What my clients and I do is we use tax sale finders, which I make available to my clients, okay, because that's what I use. And we can filter the list in the sale to just the type of properties we want. So we could filter the list to just the land, if that's what you're looking for. And we can do that in each state that we're looking to find. Now, oh, excuse me again. Getting a little hoarse. I have to take another drink of water, so excuse me. So back to those states. Georgia is going to have monthly tax sales. Some of the counties are going to have a tax sale every month. The smaller counties, maybe not every month, maybe only a couple of times a year or every quarter, but it's always going to be on the first Tuesday of the month. Now, Tennessee, each county is only going to have a sale once a year, but it doesn't have to be at a certain time of year. South Carolina, on the other hand, they have their tax sales now. Actually, their tax sales are finishing up now. They happen in the fall through December. Might still be a couple sales going on, but they are all live. You have to show up live. Also, Georgia, all live. Tennessee has some online and some online sales that can happen different times of the year. Each county only has it once a year, but it doesn't have to happen at a certain time of the year like South Carolina does. South Carolina happens between most of them in November and December, a few in October. So those are finishing up. Florida has deed sales, so you could actually buy the property, and they happen all the time in Florida. And the other state that was mentioned that has deed sales is North Carolina, and they can happen anytime as well. Their sales are few and few and far in between, let's say. And it's a convoluted process in North Carolina to get the property. So in North Carolina, it's a deed sale. You have to be there live. There's no online sales. And you could be the winning bidder on a property and get a property, but then you have to wait 10 days for somebody to outbid you. If nobody outbids you, you get the property. If somebody outbids you, then you have 10 days to outbid them. So it can go on forever in North Carolina, just saying. All right. So Mark, I hope that answers your question. And we can let Mark know, Nicole, that we answered his question in this Facebook Live. Okay. And JR asks, so at this time, what would you get most of, certificate or deed? At this time of year, what would you get most of, a tax lien certificate or a deed? And it all depends on where you live, how much money you have to invest, and where you want to go. There's always both going on. I would say there's usually more deed sales than there are lien sales. It depends on the time of year. Like after this month, there's not going to be a lot of lien sales going on until Arizona has lien sales in February. But you have to get ready for them. You have to get ready for them in January. But there will still be deed sales going on. Oh, Junior, you're asking about New Jersey. New Jersey are liens, not deeds. So yeah, New Jersey are liens, not deeds. Very far and few between. Every once in a while, a municipality, and first of all, in New Jersey, all the sales are done on a municipal basis. They don't have big county government. So each township or municipality taxing district has a tax sale. Now, what happens is sometimes when they have some things that don't sell in the sale and the county gets them, and this happens very seldom. I will tell you that I was at a few tax sales over the last couple of weeks, and a lot of the tax sales that I go to, everything sells, everything gets bid on. But when something doesn't get bid on, it's usually because it's junk property. And I would say in New Jersey, almost always it's because it's junk property, except in one instance, I went to one sale this week that a lot of the bidders were not prepared for. And we weren't prepared for it because the service that we used to get the list somehow did not have all the properties. So the tax collector did their list on the front and back side of a page, and most of the properties were on the back side of the page. Well, somehow this list provider did not get all the properties that were on the back side of the page. So, some of us went to the sale. We were not prepared to bid on all those properties. So a couple of those might have went to the township, although I suspect that, if something good went there, it was, like a once in a blue moon thing, because I know one of the properties that the township got was a worthless piece of property. And that's most of the time what goes to the township. Now in New Jersey, they don't really have OTC liens. That happens very rarely. It's like an act of God to get them. And that's not a strategy I do. And one of the reasons it's not a strategy I do is because New Jersey doesn't do it. If they do, it's like an act of God to get it. Like if a tax collector has a lot of liens left over, what they have to do is they have to go to the owners of the property, and then they have to go to the board, to the city or township board, and they have to okay that the board has to okay it, and the owner has to okay it, that it's okay for them to sell it over the counter. It's a long, convoluted process. And some townships just don't do it in New Jersey. Some municipalities just don't do it. So it's not a strategy that I do. It's not a strategy that I teach. Because even when you can do that, most of those properties, almost all of them, are going to be junk properties that you can't build on, you can't do anything with. Okay. All right, so you're in Ocean County and New Jersey. No, New Jersey is a great state to invest in liens. I do it all the time. I just don't do over-the-counter liens or what other people tell you to do. And I think New Jersey is a great idea. It's where I do most of my investing. As a matter of fact, the fund invests primarily in Florida and New Jersey. Okay. And I just got done. Junior, you must have missed the beginning of this Facebook Live. I just got saying how I got 18% on 3 liens yesterday at a New Jersey sale and 1 big lien today at a New Jersey sale. So yes, investing in New Jersey is a good idea, but you just have to know what you're doing. All right. And let's see. Yeah, but you're buying the tax lien certificates in New Jersey, not the deeds. Now, what I was leading to is that every once in a while, when a municipality gets stuck with these properties that usually aren't any good, they might sell the deeds. And so once in a blue moon, somewhere in New Jersey, there might be a deed sale, but it is not the norm. New Jersey is not a deed state. It is a lien state. If you want to buy the properties, go to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a deed state, except for Philadelphia sells redeemable deeds. But the rest of Pennsylvania, they're done on the county level, like across the country. Most states are going to have big county sales, except for New Jersey and New England. They have township and city sales, the municipalities. The taxing district has their own sale. Delaware, okay, Junior's asking about Delaware. Delaware is a redeemable deed state. It has the shortest redemption period that I know of, a 60-day redemption period. And there's only 3, it is done on the county level in Delaware. There are only 3 counties. And I don't know if there's anything going on now in Delaware. Some of the counties in Delaware will have a tax sale more than once a year. But I don't think there's anything going on now. I don't know. This is something now. When I do the workshop, I will tell you, exactly what's coming up in which states, so that you'll know to get ready for the winter tax sale. I don't remember if Delaware has winter tax sales or not. But we'll go over that in the workshop that we do. And I help my my clients that join me for my Atlas. I do an advanced tax lien investing secrets training. And I haven't done it since 2019 until we're just finishing up our 2023 training. We just did a fall 2023 advanced tax lien investing secrets training. We're in our last week this week. We'll have our last coaching call tomorrow night. And then starting in January, we will do a winter training, which I haven't done since 2017. So, if you're interested in bidding at the winter tax sales and you want some hand-holding, then you definitely want to get in on that Atlas training. You can get in on the waiting list right now. This is a paid course. It includes 2 months of coaching. It is for people that are serious about investing. And of course, you don't want to do it unless you have money to invest. All right, but if you want to get on the waiting list, you could go to taxlienlady.com/advanced training. Actually, I'm sorry, it's taxlienlady.com/book/advanced-training. And Nicole, you could put that link in for everybody. The normal cost of that is $2,500, but last time we did discount it to just under $2,000 for 2 months of coaching with me, plus 8 weeks of training. And it's coaching every week. It's a group coaching session every week, plus you get a private session with me to start. So it's, again, hands-on and for people that have the money to invest. Andre, thanks for joining. Yes, and it is for total newbies as well as for advanced. I also have my coaching clients come in. So you get to learn from people that have a little bit more experience than you do. And that's the beauty of the group coaching sessions. They're really small groups. As a matter of fact, sometimes only one person shows up. I don't know why, for the coaching. So you get a lot of attention from me. And it is 8 weeks. It is 8 weeks. We will take 1 week off after the first 5 or 6 weeks. So you'll have a week to catch up before we do the last two weeks of the training. So it actually spans 9 weeks. And we're going to have a week off in March. That week, I'm not sure which exactly where it falls in the training, but I'll be going to the National Tax Lien Association conference, and that's in March. So we will not meet that week. I will not have the lesson that week. So it's eight weeks of lessons, but it will span 9 weeks because we have 1 week off, and that week will allow you to catch up on all the work. All right, we have another question from Jardini. I'm looking for a lawyer that does tax liens in Georgia. Okay, $8,000 to $10,000 asking to file for lien. It's a foreclosure that you want to do. So in Georgia, what you're doing is you're buying the deed at the sale, all right? And you don't, so Jardini, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Let me ask you this. Do you own Georgia liens or deeds, the redeemable deeds? Do you own any? Because you don't need a lawyer until it's time to foreclose, and most of your liens are not going to, you're not going to foreclose on, they're going to redeem. Most of your liens are going to redeem, or redeemable deeds, they are actually. So most of your deeds are going to redeem, and you're not going to get to foreclose on them. You're not going to need an attorney, all right? You only need an attorney after the redemption period's over, when it doesn't redeem. Okay. Yeah, and Nicole has put in the link to get on the wait list for the Atlas training. And Junior has asked how many days a week. What happens is there is a recorded lesson that you get on Monday, and then we do a coaching call on Wednesday. So it's live 1 week, and the rest is at your leisure. Okay. And it's also recorded. So even the live call is recorded. If you can't make it, you can get the recording. The live call is on Wednesday. Right now it's on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Junior says he can't hear me. Is anybody else having that problem? Am I coming through okay, Nicole? Is that different than your online course? Yes, Andrea, it is different. Which online course are you talking about? Buying tax liens online or online tax deed sales? They are both online courses. They don't come with any coaching. This course comes with 8 weeks of coaching with me. Actually, 2 months. It comes with 2 months of coaching with me. It goes over 9 weeks because we have 1 week off. Okay. Yeah, you know what, Junior, is probably your reception on your phone. And that's why you can't hear me, because everybody else can. Yeah, sorry about that. You know what you could do? No worries though, because the replay is going to be in the Facebook group, not in the group, on the Facebook page as soon as I'm done. I get confused because on Thursdays I do this inside the group. We have a Facebook group that I do a training in every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So I get confused, but this is on the Facebook page. So the replay is going to be there as soon as we're done, and you could watch it there. Yeah, it is. You could rewatch this. This is probably your signal, as Nicole just put in to the comments. All right, so any other questions before we end this call? Any other questions? And thank you for showing up. Thank you for your questions. Okay, so Jardini says, yes, I do own the liens, but after the year, you have to claim the liens by getting a clean title. Yes, you do. And you do need an attorney to foreclose the right of redemption and to clear the title. And offhand, I don't know of any attorneys in Georgia, but tax lien attorneys in Georgia, but you can definitely Google tax lien attorney in whatever county you have your liens in. I would Google that. The other thing you can do is check with, there's a couple places where the National Tax Lien Association, you could check with them. Sometimes you have to be a member to get information, but you might be able to get information from them. The other place you could check with where attorneys advertise is Tax Sale Resources. Can you make a living doing this? Junior asked. Well, let me tell you, I use this as an alternative to the stock market. This is investing. This is how you can invest your money for high returns. So I do believe in multiple streams of income. So I don't think this should be your only stream of income. As a matter of fact, wealthy people just use it as a way to invest their money. And they probably also invest in the stock market, and they invest in other things. So for me, this is my alternative to the stock market. Now, I don't even invest for myself anymore because now I'm the manager of a small tax lien investing fund, which is actually growing and going to become larger. But so now when I invest, it's for the fund. But before I did that, I used it as an alternative to the stock market, as a way to invest the money. So you're using money that you don't need to live on. This is money that you have to invest. You can also do it with money in your retirement account if you have a self-directed IRA. Great question. And is it Andrea or Andre? How much money do you realistically need to have for investing purposes? And that all depends on where you live, where you want to invest. So if you're investing in tax liens, if you're going to Andrea, and yeah, but that doesn't tell me how to pronounce it. Am I pronouncing your name right? Is it Andrea? I have a friend that I went to school with, and her name is Andrea. And that's how but some people pronounce it differently. Some people pronounce it Andrea. Okay, Andrea is, okay. All right, so how much money do you need? Let me ask you, and normally what I ask people is, where do you live? How much money do you have to invest? And are you interested in getting the property or getting the return on your money? If you want the property, you need more money to invest. If you're going to deed sales, you need more money to invest. So my question to you is, if you tell me how much money you have to invest, I can tell you, what type of investment, whether it's liens or deeds, and what states, because some states bid down the interest rate. Some states bid up premium. You need more money for those states that bid up premium than you do for states that bid down the interest rate. $5,000. Okay. New Jersey online sales are not for you, because you need $10,000 for every online sale that you invest in New Jersey. But with $5,000, you can go to the live sales in New Jersey, but I would only go to out of the way places that have a lot of small liens, because a lot of the liens in New Jersey are going to be more than that. Florida is great, Andrea, for that amount of money, because they bid down the interest rate and they don't bid premium. So Florida is good for 5,000. States that do that, Arizona is coming up in February. Not my favorite state to invest in, but definitely with $5,000. The type of states that you want to invest in are lien states, where they do not bid up the price of the lien. So those are the states that you want to focus on. Both Arizona and Florida are states that do that. They bid down the interest rate. Any other questions? Great questions today. Any other questions? Okay, because if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to end this Facebook Live. Remember, you want to sign up for the workshop that's happening next Thursday. And you guys didn't tell me what you would like me to give you for my year-end sale. What would you like a discount on? What would you like? The last couple of years, I've given one of my workshops at half price and the other one for free, together as a package. The last couple of years, last year I think it was the Redeemable Deed workshop and the Texas workshop you got the Redeemable Deed workshop at half price, and then I added in the Texas workshop for free. So what workshops, and if you want to know what workshops I have available, just go to my website, taxlienlady.com. And Nicole, if they go to taxlienlady.com, in that top menu, where will they find the workshops? I think there's a link for that, right? For workshops in the top menu, where they can go and check out all the workshops. And if they've never been, Andrea said coaching workshop at half price would be great. Are you talking about the Atlas training, the Advanced Tax Lien Investing Secrets training? Under trainings and programs. Okay, that's where, if you go under trainings and programs, you could see all the workshops. Coaching workshop at half price. I don't know if I want to do that, Andrea, just because that's a lot of my time. That's a lot of my time and effort that I put in there. But the workshops are already done. They're already done. They're already recorded. So I can give you a better discount on those. Beginner workshop. Oh, I know what I have. Tax Lien Investing Blueprint is a beginner workshop, and the Tax Lien Investing Basics, those are beginner workshops. So, all right, so that's something for me to think about. All right, everybody. Last call for questions. I'm going to take a sip of water. Yeah, that's the one. Andrea, the Tax Lien Investing Basics and the Tax Lien Investing Blueprint, that's what you want? Okay. Yeah, and Nicole has put in the link for you to go look at the workshops. Hey, and you know what? Leave your comments here, or even better, email me at info@taxlienlady.com and let me know what you want, okay? All right. You sent a question. Let me see. Oh, all right, Junior. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't see it. With your experience and expertise, if I spend time doing this, do you think I can get at least 2 deeds a year with which I can fix and flip from an auction? Not in New Jersey. In Pennsylvania, you could, but you have to have money. You have to have, do you have at least 50,000 to do that with? Deeds are more money. You're actually bidding for the property, and there are real estate investors at these auctions bidding on these properties. Before COVID, one of my coaching clients got a property for 26,000, and it was a property needed major rehab. He decided just to sell it. Cleaned it up a little bit and sold it. Needed major rehab. And a lot of these properties do. So if you want a decent property, you need between like 35 and 50 or 60,000 per property. Okay. I mean, you could get properties at 35,000. I had a coaching client a few years ago who got for 35,000, got 3 deeds in Michigan at one of the Michigan sales. So it just depends on if you had the money. Yeah, just make sure you get the training, whether it's from me or somebody else. You don't want to make any mistakes. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If I win a bid in PA, how much time do I have to pay? Is it the same day? You have an hour. I said you have to have the money. I mean, you have to have the money. And a lot of them won't even take cash. You've got to go to the bank and get a certified check. That's the only thing they'll take. At least in Monroe County, PA, that's what the only thing they used to take here. All right. Yes, you have to have the money in the bank and be able to go to the bank, get a certified check, and you have an hour to do it. All right. Get some coaching from me if you really want to know how to do it right. And I'll see you guys next week here at 2 p.m. And if you're in the group, we've got a private group you could join for free. Nicole just put that link in there for them for the Facebook group. For anybody that wants to join, it's at facebook.com/groups/investing, tax lien investing success. No, you don't. You don't want to walk in there with the money, Junior. The money's got to be in the bank, and you've got to get a certified check. So yeah. So most people just go to the bank and get the certified check. You've got to have a branch near where the sale is. All right. All right, everybody. I will see you either next week at 2 p.m. or on Thursday inside the group. I do a little training at, it's not a Q&A. I just do a short 10-minute training at 12 p.m. Now, I have a tax sale Thursday, so I might be a little late. We'll see how that tax sale goes. All right, everybody. I'll see you next time.